And what's going on? Let's go live. All right, I hope everybody can hear me this time. Like I said, y'all pardon me. I'm really just learning this app right now, so um, y'all just give me a moment to get used to it or whatever. It took me a month to find this. Um, I want to say this, right? If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, I'm using an additional app alongside YouTube. I have to. That protects me. I wanted to tell y'all, man. First of all, pardon me for that earlier live that I did. You couldn't hear me. I have to do some adjustments with the audio and all that stuff before I use it. So I hope that y'all can hear me on this stream. But I'm just gonna reiterate what I said, and because what I said is sincere. Um, I want to say this. I just want to say this one time, right? RP to DMX. That's first things first. And we all know at this point what happened to DMX. And I want to say, can everybody hear me? Let me know and type in if you can hear me. All right. I had to fix the audio, and I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm just learning this app. Um, we saw what happened with DMX and everything like that. And I'm gonna say to the bottom of my soul, RP to DMX. I was in the Bronx last night, and I did a live over there and put it up on this channel too. But it's man. I saw another video, and now this video had Black Rob in it. Let me know if y'all can hear me, all right? Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. I'm looking in the chat. I'm here. Can y'all hear me? Okay, cool. Got y'all, got y'all. See, I'm learning how to use this. See, y'all pardon me. Um, this is video floating around that DJ Self did. We know DJ Self. DJ Self put on Jacquees. He also put on Cardi B. Shout out to the BX. Um, the funny thing is, right? The video had Black Rob in the video. In the video, Black Rob is in the hospital. And I'm looking at the video and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, this man is literally saying condolences to someone else. And at the same time, he's in the hospital himself. And I look at the guy, he's missing a tooth. That's condensing with a couple of things, usually diabetes. So he's missing a tooth. He looks probably about like 65 to 75 pounds lighter than he actually is most of the time. And I'm saying to myself, yo, what in the fuck is going on here, you know? And I'm like, where's the hip hop community on this one? Where they at? Huh? Before y'all start that, this is the Arizona T, you know what I mean? Where's the hip hop community? Yeah, I had to raise the question. It's preventive measures is the word that we're looking for here. Preventive measures require that you always look. See, DMX is on his way back up. Y'all ain't know about this. DMX had another record deal in the works. DMX was on his way to the rise. He had just did a song for the and Swizz Beatz had produced it for I forgot what the name of that TV show is. It's about Bumpy Johnson. And he had did a track for the soundtrack, and they had also did another one for the second season. They were supposed to be releasing another one, so I guess you guys will still hear that too. But it had Rick Ross on it and DMA, and it was fire track. It was a good track. I forgot what the name was, but Swizz produced it. Swizz was also on it. DMX was on his way back up, so I want to keep in line. At the time of this man's death yesterday, this man was only worth $1 million. Now a lot of that was considerably extremely low for a man of his caliber, his record sheet, but he was worth $1 million. You can look that up yourself. Came from multiple different sources. They'll probably start talking about it in a little bit. I always know the trajectory they're going because I worked for him for so long. So I'm talking about media. So I know how I go. They're gonna circulate that around in a minute. But I want to talk about a couple other key points. I remember this video, and then I'm gonna get back into Black Rob. I remember watching Ayana Bazat. Is that her name? And she had a show on, and she had DMX and one of DMX's sons. And on the show, she was trying to get DMX and his son back together. And to no avail, it didn't work the way she wanted to. But I remember one particular thing she said in there. You can look up this clip. It might take some searching to look it up, but look up the clip, and I'll try to put it together. But she said, "This is a man that wants to die." That's what she said. She said, "This is a man that wants to die," and that stuck in my head when she said that. And I remembered that, and it echoed to me when I heard that yesterday. I only met DMX one time in my life. One time. One time. It was at a performance. And actually, the performance was for other artists, and he just happened to be there. So that stuck out to me a lot, you know? But I'll say this much about DMX, and I'll say this for sure. DMX is not only an icon by so many different measures, but he's also a person of a caliber of artists that you will never see again, I don't think. It pained me to see that man die like that young. And now the preponderance of people that should have been at that hospital were not down there. In my opinion, the amount of press that should have been put on there was not there. In my opinion, not the right type of press. Not the right type of press. In fact, more people were worried about gossiping. They were about gossiping. You know there are more black people that are interested in the death of Prince Philip and Spanish people than they are in DMX. And DMX is from the very neighborhoods that most of them are from. The very neighborhoods that most of them are from. How about that? There's become this imagery in a lot of people of color's head that they are somehow decadent. Do you know what the word decadent means? If you don't, look it up. The word decadent was used during Venetian periods and you know, the Renaissance periods. The decadent term means that you are flitty. Oh, them? Oh, they're broke. I wonder what the poor people are doing. That type of attitude. Well, this is the attitude and the segue that now a lot of people of color are going. I would, in fact, say that most people of color think of nothing more than the greed that they can ascertain and how much they can hold on to that greed for as long as they, as short time as they plan on living. Because the only thing I see is something reiterated. Before, somebody wouldn't think they would live to 25 because they were in the streets. Now, they don't think they're going to live to 25 because they got money to do what they want to do and they're going to do it how they want to. Same segue. Just different. If a lot of y'all don't understand that, that's over 35, I don't know, you know, but that's what it is. You know, they prefer not to live long because of that reason. Well, they got that from the older generation. The older generation, that's whose music they were listening to, even if they'll deny them. Ain't no way you was in your mama's house in 1990 something here, Wu-Tang Clan playing. Ain't no way you was in your mama and daddy crib or grandma's house and they hear motherfucking whoever else playing. You know what I'm saying? Mobb Deep. You know what I mean? Anybody else. Ain't no way you was in your mama and your granddad or your grandma's house or granddaddy house or whoever and they hear some. You know what I'm saying? Y'all throw out something. You know what I mean? BR, Black Rob, whoa. You know what I mean? A whole bunch of others. Who see who's in there? Block saying, what's going on? Annette Foster. You saw it too, right? Show on stream. There we go. Now I can see y'all. That works. That works. I have to click this thing to go in here to look at y'all chat. Annette, Roxanne, what's going on? You know, so ain't no way in the world you was at. Now I got it. See, I'm learning something every day. Now I can see y'all on the screen as y'all make y'all comments. That's beautiful. So, ain't no way you're going to sit there and tell me that this guy is laying up in the freaking hospital. This music that's out right now is an example and the influence of most of these kids is out here to think they're super tough and don't know they can lose their life at any given moment. These are the things of no fear and all this shit that you see nowadays that these guys got. And their mothers and fathers are responsible. He also had a movie that came out in 2020, very talented, and I love his music. I did too. I'm so glad to be back live with y'all. We're going to get everybody else over there too. And all y'all, you know, like if y'all see me going live or whatever, let the people know that y'all know this cool. Come over here and rock with us or whatever. All the rest of them, it's like probably like 4,000 of them. I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Flag me shit. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? The music now, I've talked about this before, is a vibe sonically. You know what I'm saying? It's different. And that vibe it's terrible because it's like these kids now, we created that vibe. That's what I'm trying to say. We created that vibe. Our time period created that vibe. So I being a person that did all that shit, being a person that did two bids for that shit, like the street shit, like I'm talking about real street shit. Like my guys that are locked up for bodies and shit still, man. Like, you know what I mean? We didn't fuck around. We made front pages of newspaper individually, including myself, you know. Like we really, really did it. And we did it with no guns most of the time. And then sometimes it would be guns. We never brought the guns out unless it was needed. That's my story. It's documented. I got 2 felonies for it. You know, I make no minds about it. And I don't use that as a bragging badge or anything like that. Like I don't run around, hey, guess what? I made the paper 2 times. That's stupid, you know? Like that's what my agenda, my whole purpose of that is saying, I come from a time when guys was really doing it. And most of these kids is here now. They was born off some R. Kelly music. They was born off some H-Town music. They was born off some what's the name? All the shit we was listening to in high school. A lot of y'all well, I ain't gonna say high school, middle school. Yeah, middle school. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit that we were listening to in middle school and going to the 5th grade dance and shit like that, a lot of y'all motherfuckers was made off of. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. I don't want to bring him up. R. Kelly responsible for a lot of families. You know what I'm saying? Silk is responsible for a lot of families. You know what I'm saying? Who else? New Edition. They responsible for a lot of families. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. You know. I know y'all think I'm going off the trajectory here, but I'm not. My solid point is here. There's something wrong, man. When these people are dying and nobody cared, 1, until they died. 2, very shortly after they died, they stopped talking about them completely, or at least to the preponderance where we hear it. And then I see Black Rob laying up in the hospital doing an Instagram post on somebody else's page. You know what I mean? While he's sick. The shit broke my heart when I seen Black Rob. Man, if y'all don't know, and this is no bragging stuff, I was part of the team that, you know, promoted Black Rob's first project. We were there. You know what I'm saying? His plaque party, we was there. The first time he performed Whoa, we was there. I was there at the tunnel. I got kicked out that night for smoking an L in there. Like, this is all factory. Like, there's no making up nothing here. You know, there's no exaggeration. Nothing of that. And it's sad to see that Black Rob and many other people like Black Rob are now just like, you know what I mean, forgotten so easily. And so abruptly, you know what I mean? And you know, there's a story that floats around. You know, Black Rob had a stroke a couple years ago. And he was sick. I can't confirm that he has diabetes or anything like that, but I know he has some heart problems. Okay? And he made it very vocal at one time. He had some complaints, just like I had my complaints about Puff. He had his complaints about Puff. And he I want to say this right. He made an announcement and made some what's the names about it. Now, if any of y'all don't know, the last time I was in or around Black Rob, I say was little under 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, right before Daddy's House recording studio closed. That was Puff's studio. I used to record there. There's videos on my other page. I'll throw some up on this page too, because it's gonna be the new page, period. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because it was me, Gotta recorded me, Flames Flow or Far Out Flow, and Hard Pierre. You know what I'm saying? Who is the vice president of Bad Boy Entertainment. I was in their room. They was in Studio A, and I always recorded Studio B. The room I recorded in, Big recorded in that room, Cassie recorded in that room. One choice, it's huge. It's like the room was separated by a piece of glass, so like you could look through and see the engineer in the whole other room. You could have an entourage of probably like close to 50 people in the studio, one room, and I could be in the other room by my complete self, and you could see right through the glass. I mean, it was huge. It's beautiful, you know. That was the last time I was around there. You know what I mean? And that was, and I, you know, it was love. It was love. He remember seeing me from Hartford. I was up in Hartford one time, and ironically enough, this was when Chinx Drugs was performing. You know what I mean? And so I said, yo, last time I saw you, at that time when I seen him, I said, that last time I saw you was in Hartford. He was like, yeah, I remember. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the room remember that. So, you know, I don't tell no Chuck. I seen Black Rob sitting up in the hospital like that. I was like, man, listen. And he said, yo, the medicine making me feel better. I said, well, how were you looking before you got there? You know, my brother's missing a tooth from health usually. Not because of hygiene, because of health. You know what I mean? Make that abundant. Not because of hygiene, because of health. Man, I don't like seeing him like that, man. I ain't Black Rob's best friend. I ain't none of that, but I've been around this man. I've been up around this. Like I said, I helped promote this man's first album, Life Story. I was part of the promotion team. You know what I'm saying? Under Malcolm Miles and Sean Prez. Factory. Why aren't our CEOs and all these people that got all this money, how come they not hitting them with it? We watched Dr. Dre, one of the pioneers of the hip hop video. Most of y'all don't even know who he is. You know what I'm saying? But Dr. Dre and Ed Lover, they did a little show. It was called MTV Raps. I remember we used to rush home to watch that shit. You know what I'm saying? We used to rush home to watch that shit right there. Yo, MTV Raps, so son, Harry, get home. You know what I mean? We used to go home and watch that. You know what I mean? And it was crazy because, like, check it, right? Ed Lover was this heavy set guy, and Dr. Dre was this tall, skinny guy. So, I mean, excuse me, Dr. Dre was this roly-poly guy, and Ed Lover was this tall, skinny guy. So they looked like a number 10 pistol next to each other, but they were really like a modern-day Abbott and Costello. You know what I mean? Like, I only saw that on reruns, so don't give me no shit about that. But I know what it is. My grandmother used to watch it, and my mother used to watch the reruns all the time. The Honeymooners, all that shit. So I used to know what it was. Um, I tell you this, man. That man got sick because he had an injury and he fell. And his foot, somehow or another, I guess he had some prior existence with something. And he had his foot amputated, which was unfortunate. And, you know, he suffered a lot of financial woes because of it. And nobody came out to help him. You know, like nobody came out to help him. Nobody was like, yo, Dr. Dre, you all right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Nothing. You know? And he went on Vlad TV and talked about it. Vlad TV. Y'all always go to the white man when y'all need to say something. Well, this is why y'all not act right and everything. Well, this is why I feel like this and now. Did I mention I went to Kundamala and blah 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 blah. Don't nobody give a shit. Trust me on that. I went to college. Don't nobody give a fuck about your college education. What can you do for us? That's the question in favor. What can you do for us? And if you can't do shit, get the fuck out of my office. That's what it means. A college degree. So many people ride on a college degree from a European perspective of having an education. When Europeans themselves will tell you, do not value in education. You see wayward, foolish people value education most of the time. And most of the time it's people that need to be assimilated or placed somewhere because they're not smart enough to figure out things on their fucking own. So some people, believe it or not, need to be pointed to the right direction. I know this because I was in charge of guys before. It is what it is, okay? So don't be surprised by this. Don't be admonished by this. This is how it is. Some people, they need direction. They need you to point them some fucking way. And then some people are different. Some people are natural leaders and they do things on their own. What's place and position, not Black Rob or any other artist as such, but the general part of society nowadays, which seems to be a whole bunch of followers. You know what I mean? Nobody has their own individual horn, individual perspective or nothing. It's like an old collective of everything. This is how you get cancel culture. Because the same thing is, and it's all in a negative fashion. Speaking of cancel culture, why don't y'all cancel this fucking behavior since y'all canceling so much shit? Cancel this fucking behavior and narcissism that exists within the culture and is developing and spreading like a cancer. Won't y'all inoculate that? Get that in order. You know what I mean? Because I don't see it getting any better. We don't care about each other, but we only care about each other when something bad happens from another race. And then you run to the same area of the race to tell your story or why it happened, and depend on them to give you your satisfaction. And then in a couple months, they do it again. It's just not how it goes. If I'm wrong, tell me something different. Because the last time I checked, this is how it goes. You know? I'm so glad I can go live again. I'm so glad I can go live again. Because the preordained videos are good, but I like to give y'all the raw off the cut of how I feel. And I know sometimes I babble on, sometimes I go from one thing to another, but y'all just hold with me, you know. I go through a lot of shit every day, so, you know, I got some things wrong with me. I ain't gonna hold it together. A lot of people be asking me a whole bunch of things, man. Don't you know, like, I be one of the dudes on the news in certain situations. I probably go in there and take out everybody just because somebody said the wrong thing to me. Not because I was mad, just because somebody said, well, yeah, that would imply that you're mad. But you know what I mean, you know, and I don't need to be in certain environments so abruptly. After the traumatic experiences I've been through, I don't think most people can put up with it, and I do. I keep it kicking, I keep it pushing, you know. I come from a whole bunch of tough guys, you know, my uncles and they're military men, the drags of Caribbean people and Italian people I grew up around, and this, you know, it's all instilled in me. So, you know, I don't I've always been around men, you know, and I've always tried my best, even as a young man, to present myself as a man. And I don't mean the signified definition of, oh, yo, I'm a man, and you know, that whole definition. I don't mean that. I mean as someone that's mature, which the very definition itself means, you know what I mean? And it doesn't imply anything or hold diligent over your current situation, prior situation, or anything. More so your integrity, you know? That's in your dignity and how you carry yourself. That's the things that matter and imply the most when you come into interaction with anybody, anything. Anybody that's been on my other channel, y'all remember, y'all seen numerous times where y'all thought and tell me, yo, be careful. You know, certain people anyway, long story short. And when it happens or whatever. And every time I hold it accordingly, you know. Always make sure I do it, you know. But the thing is, like I was saying here, you guys have got to pay attention to what's going on in the business right now. What's going on in the business is this. They're sitting around these guys and they're not caring about what's going on with these guys. And if you're an artist right now, please recommend to your other artists and tell them this is the same way they will say goodbye to them. They don't care. So what you need to do, and I say this to a lot of artists, I say this to a lot of people, is start finding people that do care. And start linking with them and start shunning the ones that don't care. The ones that don't remember your legends. The ones that don't remember anybody except for popularity. Puff, I saw the other night when you was at Diana Ross's birthday party, and I looked at the way that Tracee Ellis Ross looked at you. I looked at that video and I said, wow. She looked at him and like, don't come near my mother. This is what people think of you. Y'all, all CEOs, I'm not attacking just Puff, I'm talking about all CEOs now. They're in the hip hop world. They look at you as demons and devils, and they're scared of you. They talk tough a lot. I've been around you niggas. I worked for 17 years, shit. Ain't too many people in the hip hop business working under Bad Boy Entertainment, if you can imagine, that I haven't been around. I've been around everybody, you know? I hold relationships to this day. I just got off the phone today with 4 different people in the industry. Talking about, yo, this is what we doing, how we coming back. I got a whole bunch of shit planned. So I'm going to keep on doing exactly what I'm doing, and y'all going to take the ride with me. And everybody that helped me out and everybody that ride me, you got something coming to you. Trust me, when Davin Lewis say that, it always sits solid. Trust me on that one. You know? A lot of y'all just met me from this right here, the live thing, and I appreciate that. And you don't know me and how I was in the music industry. I was always a fair man, always a good man. I was always a guy's house that came to and partied at and You know what I'm saying? Everybody, a ton of people in my condo sleep on the balcony and all kinds of other shit. You know what I'm saying? My balcony was in the back and it overlooked trees and shit. So, you know what I mean? Unless you lived there, you wouldn't even know somebody's there. You know, you wouldn't even know somebody's there. So people will leave the freaking what's the name open, all kinds of stuff. That's a beautiful Ferrari this passed me, guys. But I love living where I live at. I ain't gonna lie to you. I love living. It gives you so much information because this is one of the most lucrative areas in Connecticut. It's the reason why I'm here is to build my shipping container homes. You know, and one day I'm gonna tell the story how the shit I went through and make sure that got done to my kids when I have them. Trust me on that. But we're gonna make a dent in couple of things here. That's why I'm doing the skits. So y'all make sure y'all pay attention to the comedy skits. We're gonna continue with Bunny Claiborne. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all like that character. Write in the comment section. Tell me how you feel about him. Tell me what you think about him. I got 2 or 3 other characters I'm working on. I'm trying to get a little thing with them. But you guys are gonna really like what I'm gonna be doing as far as that. And as far as not doing anything in skits, we're gonna be doing a couple other things. So I got a couple people in the industry I'm gonna be working with. Last thing I wanted to just finish off with, and just talking about DMX, and just talking about the whole situation with seeing Black Rob in the hospital like that. Not to mention only that I've worked with these gentlemen. Well, I haven't worked with DMX. I worked with Black Rob, like exclusively as part of the label. But DMX, I met the man one time. Short fella too. But cool, nevertheless. I never imagined in my life that he would die like that. And I don't think most people did either. But what I also didn't imagine was that he would die, period. I would think that somebody would come to the perplexity of an intervention for him to see, why he passed, how he passed. Everything else is inclusive in that. You understand? And that just wasn't the case. In fact, some people could have blood on their hands, you could say, and they say, well, maybe you didn't pay enough attention to DMX. Maybe you didn't pay enough attention to, say, hey, what can I do to help him or whatever. And this is what I'm talking about when I talk about the Black and Latino population now and the way of thinking, You got grown men out here that's 60, 70 years old, 50 years old, trying to stunt in front of another man holding a cell phone and some new sneakers. This is the way of the West. This is the way of the mindset. Meanwhile, the world keeps spinning and things keep happening and we're under COVID-19. This is the way of the thinking now. Do you think this is the best option for you? Most people think it is. I watch so many YouTube channels, and the whole thing on the YouTube channels is, the daily fuckery. Who got fucked over for the day? Who got bushed over for the day? What happened to this person? What's the worst thing that happened to this person? And it's almost like they take pride in it. But not even, not on no nostalgia shit, but let's even say 10 years ago, it was quite different. And I think the biggest influence of that has been the internet. The internet has made the most fake, fraud motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life. Like, you can say whatever you want to across the screen. But the reality of not whether you've actually lived that life is questionable. And most of the time it isn't. You wasn't like us. You wasn't out there with us. I'm speaking for myself and the guys that I was with, and we're now semi-retired. Let's say that. The guys I was with, we made the papers numerous times, separately and collectively. Me myself twice a front page. I didn't go down for no pussy shit. Don't get me confused. So these guys. They're coming from the perspective of where their parents were, the way their parents raised them, the way they were around, the music that influenced them, the TV that influenced them, the things that influenced them. Then when you throw that into a mix and you make it readily accessible online, well, then what you get is a pure fuck show. Now, my 10-year-old can influence your 8-year-old, and my 8-year-old can influence a 7-year-old. And so on and so forth, leapfrogging over each other. And at some certain point, it now becomes a competitive competition, which was once, looked at as being, unmentionable in society, now becoming open World War III online. because now there are no barriers, there are no walls. In society, there are barriers and walls, and that's why I made the conjecture and the comparison of guys that really did it and stuff like that, or whatever. I watched in front of me as a guy was put in the fucking trunk. You know what I'm saying? Like I could say it online because the guy that did it, he's locked up now. You know what I'm saying? But he was a friend of mine. I ain't gonna fucking sit there and lie. You know, I was questioned. A couple other people there was questioned. You know what I'm saying? I ain't seen nothing. You know what I mean? Who was that you speak of? I think I was blinking at the time. So I think I was looking that way at the time. All the different people, the two crews, and I ain't talking about no gang shit. I don't do gangs. I never done gangs. The gang thing, we don't do the gang thing. Never done the gang thing. The guys I was around, we wore nice clothes. Put it that way. That fucking street shit. You guys gotta realize that a lot of these kids are seeing what's going on right now, and they're looking at you and they're saying, well, if you're dying like this, if you're going out like this, why the hell should I listen to you? You're losing your influence. And all these CEOs and big time rappers and all these guys that think they're huge, they're gonna find out very soon that a lot of these guys that they once thought were influential or looked up to them don't look up to them anymore. You think a guy like Travis Scott has to look up to anybody? Do you think someone like, I don't know, a couple other artists, do they have to look up to somebody? They don't have to fucking look up to you. Most of them are making more money than you are. Except for the tier artists like, Rick Ross, Kanye. Kanye's a billionaire now. Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about the mismatch motherfuckers in the middle. Most of them, nobody cares about what they got to say. Nobody wants to hear what they got to say. You know what I mean? Why the fuck are you telling me for? You know what I mean? You're not even making music anymore. You know what I mean? So, if you're still an active singer artist, I think you're still valuable. But your influence and your tale and your story is being told right now. And anybody that I'm going to say is probably like 25 years old and under, they're looking at you right now. Oh yeah, they're looking at you. And they're saying, these motherfuckers are telling us, yo, do it this way. But at the same time, right? At the same freaking time, you can't even get the thing right yourself, right? Hey, yo, I can ask y'all a question. What y'all think about DMX dying, man? Yeah?
I mean, I really know who he was, but I heard his songs. My mom listened to him, so.
I just said some shit like that just 5 minutes ago. I said, yo, if they don't know, I'm on live and all that, but I said, yo, even if you don't know DMX personally, you probably grew up listening to his music. Your mom, Dukes was listening, Dad was listening. You know what I'm saying? Bless up, y'all. All right. You know what I'm saying? I'm some young boys. That's why I just want, and he just reiterated the same shit I just said. I said, yo, if you don't listen, you got to be in tune, man. So, I mean, I wasn't trying to do no interview with him or nothing like that. I just wanted to get the young boys' opinions, you know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to tell y'all, it's like people care and they listening, but at the same time, you can't tell them, yo, listen, don't do this, don't do that, or whatever. And you doing the drugs, or you was in the house blowing the L, or whatever. I've seen so many kids, like I ain't got no kids, so it's easier for me to understand because I'm looking at it from a different perspective. But, yo, I've watched personally with my own two eyes Factory, and I've seen things to the perplexity that sometimes you have people that unfortunately will sit around and drink beer around the kids, smoke around the kids. I ain't talking about a cigarette. Who cares about a cigarette? I'm talking about, blow down. I've seen people do lines for the kids, all kinds of crazy shit, and I'm just like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? You don't see a kid right there paying attention to all that? And they don't care. You see what I'm saying? They don't care. Oh, he don't know what's going on. They do know what's going on. And they be influenced by that. You understand what I'm saying? So, when I wasn't trying to put the young boys on the spot or nothing like that or whatever, but I just want you to hear what he was saying and how they correlated that. And they saying, yo, they not listening to us. Professional listening to y'all. You know why I'm listening to y'all? Because I plan on having kids. And I got to let them know, they coming out of that. They're not going to know what I know. You know what I'm saying? So, it's crazy. Young boy just reiterated the words. I'm glad I'm back on live, yo. I'm glad I'm back on live. Talk about what is going on out here, man. It's crazy right now. DMX dead, Black Rob in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know Prince Marky D, he was down in Florida. That's where I remember him from, but I remember from the Fat Boys. He died. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was on the radio in Miami. It's part of WBLS network. Well, I said WBLS, Hot 97, you know what I mean. But, yo, that shit crazy, man. BR, I worked on his marketing campaign. I just said that earlier. For his first album, Life Story, I was part of the marketing campaign under Sean Perez and Malcolm Miles and James Cruz. And I still, in my mind, you know what I'm saying, can't fancy the fact how he not only had a stroke, because that's happened to him a little bit back, but if y'all don't know that, so he was already probably sick. I'm betting anyway, but not only that, it's just that Black Rob, the fame he should have, you know, that song "Whoa" is like this. That's one of the most premier songs you can have. You understand what I mean? Like, it's no getting past like that "Whoa" joint. It comes on the radio, you listening to it. It comes in the club, you bouncing to it. You know what I mean? Like, the whole energy is there for that song. So for me, for Black Rob, "Whoa," it was big because I was there when it first played. Like, when I tell y'all the first time, I mean, I was literally there the first time the audience heard "Whoa" play. It was crazy. It was crazy. The horns, the way the horn, if you never heard "Whoa," it played in the club on some good speakers. I mean, real good speakers. In the club, you ain't lived yet. You gotta hear that track played. So, man, when they first played that song, the momentum, the energy is different. You can't recreate it. It's like, it's just so natural, the reaction, because, you know, literally based off music theory, and this is how they explain it, you know, a person knows whether, just like a taste of food, they know whether or not they like it within seconds. You see what I'm saying? Within seconds. They know whether or not they're gonna stick with it within seconds. So, you know, when that song came on, it was just like, breath of fresh air, brother. Breath of fresh air. It was something new, it was something different. And to this day, that song still holds testament anytime you play it. We're watching a legend in the hospital fighting for his life, it looked like, with barely enough strength to say what he want to stay on camera. And niggas ain't upset. Niggas ain't like, yo, let me go over to the hospital, see what's going on. Let me drop a couple bags off, you know what I'm saying? How's his family? How's this going? How's that going? Nobody's asking no questions. Nobody's doing nothing. Everybody just sitting back like, oh, Lord, I'm going to pray. That niggas kill me with that I'm going to pray shit. You know what I'm saying? Not talking about anything against God. That's not what I mean. I mean, you don't really mean it. You don't really mean it. So stop fronting like you mean it. Like, you don't really mean it. Every time, man, nigga told me he was going to pray for me. Like, nigga, fuck your prayers, nigga. I believe in God. God help me. You know how many people God has sent to me individually? I know they sent from God. You know what I'm saying? I know the difference. I grew up in the church. God. I got a childhood friend right now that's literally dying from cancer. Literally dying from cancer. I'm talking to him on the phone daily. That's a piece of my life I don't even let out. Piece of Sammy, man. I like when I say I grew up with him, he lived right next door to my aunt, him and his sister. Sammy and Sandy, man. He is literally dying of cancer right now. He's at home, but his colon cancer is irreversible. So, you know, it's like, it's shit like that, man. So don't give me that fake shit talking about I'm gonna pray for you and all that. If you're gonna pray, pray. But don't expect your prayers to be a literal answer for somebody else's woes. That's all I'm saying. Like, that shit is weak to me. And I think it's weak to a lot of other people too. And it's unneeded. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. I think it's an insulting thing to say to somebody, well, I pray for you. Are you in my prayers? You saying that because it makes you feel good. But that's not how actually you feel. You're saying that because you think that makes you look good. But that's not how you actually feel. 10, 15, 20, maybe even 30 seconds from there, you're not going to give a damn. You're going to forget about it. It's a forgettable moment for you. You understand? So Let's just be honest with each other if we're gonna be honest. Now, as far as what's going on in the hip hop industry, I can't change that. It takes y'all to change it. And I've said this a million times. I say it again. It takes y'all to change it. What you mean? What you mean? It takes y'all to change the momentum. If they don't give a damn about these solid artists, and the reason I keep bringing up Black Rob and his accomplishments, DMX and his accomplishments, because y'all watch just like I tell y'all. If not, soon as DMX is in the ground, if not even a week to 3 days after that, they are going to forget about him. You understand? They're going to forget about him. Trust me. And I'm going to talk about him the same perplexity, and it's going to be a different story to replace that. So please believe when I tell you this. This is the way that media goes now. We don't honor people that died in the length and complexity that we once did. We hear them out, we see what happens, we move on to the next story. This is the way in the mind thinking process that goes into the literal average motherfucker that consumes media nowadays. Point blank. And can't nobody tell me different. I've worked in it. I did it for 17 years, and I watched it change. You know, I literally been in the music. I watched the music game go from Napster to fucking iTunes, which is basically the same damn thing, but the guys that invented Napster, they got brought for the congressional hearing and thrown fines that were so much they would never get back in the business. And then Steve Jobs comes right behind him and does the same thing and makes a coin off of it to this day. That's the way the world runs. RP to DMX. I want to say that first and foremost. Second of all, I want to say Black Rob, get well. I'm going to do a separate little video, throw it up on this channel and the other channel. We're going to keep the other channel going, but I want to get everybody over here. So I'm going to be sending out a lot of invites, but we want to make sure that Black Rob, he get right, man. If y'all don't know me, y'all just getting to know me. My name is David Lewis. I was formerly a Bad Boy Entertainment, still Bad Boy Entertainment, because I'm in touch with a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? But I got my own story, my own journey, and everything like that from this whole bunch of shit going on. And as you watch the channel, you'll get more and more, and actually get to see my plight back up into the industry, which I'm looking very, very forward to. I went to school for media, digital media, which is basically film. So I know how to film shit real good and edit. I'm real good at it. So as y'all see more. I just want to say a couple other things before I get aboard for here. First of all, I got a lot of comedy stuff that's going to be on here. There's a reason I'm doing that comedy, because one, I'm making a transition into comedy. So I hope you like it, especially the Bunny Claiborne skits. I make sure y'all check them out. Two, I wanted to tell you the other thing was this. We're going to be putting a lot of new stuff on here except for the chatting. So I'll still be talking about homelessness and everything like that or whatever. And I want to give y'all an update on that. I'm actually making my transition out of that, hopefully. I haven't heard anything from the guy in about a week. But he did reach out to me the week before, and he told me if I don't have nothing for you, I'm not going to call you. So I appreciate that. And he's trying to find me a good place, put me in a nice place or whatever. I also appreciate the gentleman letting me remain in the hotel and getting the riffraff up out of here. You know, my mouse problem. There's 3 mice, and now an exterminator I think is going to be called in or whatever. But it's a family of the motherfuckers in the wall, okay? It's getting warm here in New England. If you don't know New England, mice tend to bury themselves in the ground during the wintertime. So they come out and they burrow, whatever. Other thing that happened is ants. Ants, they do it too. They bury themselves in the wool, especially copper ants. What else did I want to announce to y'all? I'm going to be releasing a song of mine. I'm going to be releasing a couple songs for y'all and some re-releases. And hopefully y'all will purchase those. I hope so. It would help me out. And I also have a clothing line coming. That's gonna be work in progress. So that's still about a month off. But I promise you, and I'm putting this on record, I will have that. The name of it is Gustavo. I think I'll give you guys a couple sample pictures and throw them up maybe in the community section or something like that, so y'all can see the progress as far as that goes. But please purchase that. I'm trying to create products so y'all not just donating, but you also have something to buy and consume and have of your own. And I think I owe you that. You guys have been the best. And lastly, yeah, man, it's still the same as far as everything else. And guys, if you like to and you want to, it's Stringerbell80, $ STRINGERBELL80. Again, capital STRINGERBELL80. This is how I make my living right now. Um, I'm like, I'm in the process of going back to see a psychiatrist and all kinds of shit. So, you know what I'm saying? This is the area I need to be at. You know what I'm saying? That's told to me. So I'm gonna stay here on camera. I'm good with that. Um, and I'm gonna build this channel back up to the top of what it is. But there's a couple of things that I need. One of them is I need a dolly for a camera. I think I can purchase that on my own. I want to give y'all some better framework. Like I'll show you one thing I got here. So this right here, if you guys can see, is my old, it's like a selfie stick thing, but I use it as a dolly sometimes. I don't know if you guys can see that, how good you can see. I definitely need a new one of these because I broke this one. It don't even work no more. But I can work it still to put the camera on or whatever. Get some pretty dope shots. But I need a big one. I need like a 50-inch one. The other thing I want to get is a new SD card. I need a new SD card so I can have more memory, so I can upload bigger videos. Like that's a problem sometimes. Um, and a light for nighttime shots like this, and a rig, because I can put the light on the rig. They have these handheld things. This is all for the what's the name. I don't need anything different from that. And I would like to get this other camera, but that's optional. You know what I'm saying? Because my phone here does 4K, so I think I'm good with that. But if I can have it as an option, I would like to have it. You know what I'm saying? Because it does something unique that other cameras don't do, which gives me a view all around, so I can create some real dope stuff for y'all. So again, it's $STRINGERBELL80 at Cash App if you guys would like to donate. I'll also be putting a PayPal link in there, and also what's the name? Daily getting food, traveling, all that shit adds up too. So thank you guys. I appreciate y'all rocking back with me live. We're gonna be back here live all the time live. You heard me? You know what I'm saying? And it's good to be back. I'm glad that y'all rocked with me on the other channel too. I try to keep on providing y'all stuff. It was just things are running wild. Things still are running wild. My little mouse problem is still kicking, but you know, we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it. All right, I'll probably go back with y'all tonight, tomorrow. I don't know, whenever. But if something pops up, I want to talk about it. I'm gonna come with y'all and talk about it. If y'all don't see it live, y'all see it later. Other than that, salute. Thank all y'all that showed up. I know it'll be more of y'all soon, so I ain't even worried about it. Check out the rebroadcast if you came in late. Later, guys.